Teen Services and Participatory Culture. Welcome. This is a presentation led by Gina Crockett, Guadalupe Martinez, Christina Napier, Roxy Ortiz, and Fabiola Sandoval. In today's changing times, as individuals navigate pivots brought forth by a public health pandemic, racial equity discourse reaching from the mainstream, compounded by research suggesting libraries must change to address the changing young adult needs of today, participatory culture tenets seem to meet the response called upon by institutions and organizations. The way young adults use, create, and share information changes as the resources they utilize are changing. Creating and co-designing programming with young people is necessary to do a better job as librarians. Participatory culture and application tenets seem to be a response to the evolution needed in today's public libraries. It's important to understand how participatory culture has shaped teen livelihoods. Research has shown that participatory culture is a culture with relatively low barriers to artistic expressions and civic engagement, strong support for creating and sharing one's creation, and some type of informal mentorship, whereby what is known by the most experienced is passed along to novices. And according to the Pew Research Center, approximately 90% of adults are online, and smartphones are common among younger adults, non-whites, and lower-income Americans for online access. Finally, most young people today have grown up with digital access and the effects of those experiences during a pivotal moment of a person's growth and his character forming. In the first section of our literature review, we discuss a brief history of participatory culture. Participatory culture is a culture wherein the participants or individuals do not simply consume information or content, but also create and produce it for others to freely engage with. A 2018 Pew Research report found that 95% of teens ages 13 to 17 have access to smartphones. Among those surveyed, they found that 85% use YouTube, 72% use Instagram, and 69% use Snapchat. Anderson and Jang, 2018. The prevalence of use of these social media platforms show that most teens are already engaging in participatory culture and creating content through social media in their everyday lives. In the second portion of our literature review, we discuss the importance of participatory culture in libraries. The library is considered an informal learning environment that gives teens freedom and access to technology. The development and implementation of teen services and programs must be directly influenced by teens, with support from a teen services librarian. Libraries should add and move on from surveys, interviews, and putting teen groups together. Teen patrons should be encouraged to co-design their own programs and services and lead wherever possible. Staff must pivot to these changes in their daily work and learn how to accommodate growing needs. In our next portion of our literature review, we discuss the application of participatory culture in libraries, taking a look at recent studies and examples of libraries who have developed their own practices. Johnson et al. Found that student-led organizations prepare learners to enter the real world. Through active engagement and affiliations of their choice, students learn skills such as collaboration and communication skills that will help them succeed beyond graduation. This process, a practice of community membership, creation, and collaboration, can be seen as building a participatory culture. Johnson et al. 2011, page 5. Many libraries have chosen to create new student-led organizations and other programmings that are only led by teens as a way to begin their first steps into participatory culture. In this section, Participatory Culture in LIS, there is a need for more research and discussion of participatory culture in libraries, especially among the young adult population. However, some have noted that thanks to participatory culture, the function of libraries and roles of librarians have changed. Librarians are now information editors, organizers, and advisors, while library users are viewed as clients who can operate independently to engage with their library and co-create information. Wynne et al. 2012. Jenkins argues that participatory culture has created the need for 11 new media literacy skills required past the traditional literacy, research skills, technical skills, and critical thinking skills taught to students. He postulates that for students to become full participants in today's society, it is vital that they practice and acquire these skills. Page 4. In our next section, we discuss using participatory culture in libraries to build engaged societies. Antony Roig states that participatory culture should be more involved than just attending meetings and should be for the betterment of the group, culture, or society, and the importance of society to have a space that encourages participation. Roig mentions fandoms as an example in popular culture and through their creations in fan fiction help to build and strengthen book communities. Joshua Fennell, 2019, asserts that participatory culture should be used to build a better society and argues that public libraries are the cornerstones for re-engaging people and creating a civic-minded and engaged community. Lastly, our final section on participatory culture through a cultural and political lens. In the first article, Hopkins discusses Jenkins' participatory culture as part of a larger strategy for libraries to engage with patrons and visitors. He argues that tracking the use of different mediums for information access, assessing which platforms are best for communicating specific content, and applying it in the library is a process public libraries should begin to adhere to. This allows staff to calibrate their efforts toward the most effective and engaging formats for information facilitation, and ultimately greater participatory culture for teens. Teens and younger generations are most impacted by these strategies because they are growing and influencing technology at faster speeds than their adult counterparts. In the second article, Joseph Deodato pulls from his research on Marxist political ideology a comprehensive timeline of library integration with digital mediums and how participatory culture affects communities. Coining the term Library 2.0 is a play on Web 2.0, the second wave of web integration into daily lives for the majority of the country's population. We center libraries in this analysis because we acknowledge that they have increasingly become cultural and social hubs for local communities. Therefore, their virtual presence, productions, and collaborations with patrons has helped develop participatory culture directly with teens. In this article, the author notes that the Web 2.0 has largely been steered by younger generations as they've seamlessly grown alongside emerging technologies and shaped their use and development. So it is imperative that libraries hold themselves accountable to this growth, meeting teens where they are for their information needs, discovery, and participation on multiple platforms. Our group reviewed 4 libraries including Altadena Public Library, Charleston County Library System in South Carolina, Kings County Library System, and Los Angeles Public Library System. The Charleston County Library System is located in Charleston, South Carolina. 2 library branches in the Charleston County Library System offer maker spaces and a digital creation studio, an editing lab with programming that aims to allow you to actively explore and engage in participatory culture with the guidance of staff. While not every library branch at the Charleston County Library System has the space or funding for creative spaces, they do offer digital team program activities. Digital teen programming includes live stream book clubs and author readings, social media engagement, teen podcasts, and virtual college prep assistance. Due to the pandemic, the library discontinued the Teen Advisory Board and the Teen Volunteer Program, which meant the virtual programs were all designed and executed by library staff for the past year. Library closures also minimized the amount of participatory engagement among teens at the library. The digital programming was limited, resulting in less opportunities for patrons to participate and develop cultural competencies and social skills over the past year. The Kings County Library System is located in Washington State, just outside the city of Seattle. This library system serves this area with 50 branches. The main page of the Kings County Library System website contains a section for teens which has numerous programs for teens to take part in. These social clubs and programs were adapted to work during the COVID-19 pandemic through Zoom sessions. Aside from the social programs, there were quite a few programs where teens could develop ideas and have a voice in their lives and society. The Los Angeles County Public Library System. This library system has 85 active branches, 3 bookmobiles, and 4 cultural resource centers. All locations are located outside of the city of LA boundaries, but encompass various landscapes and population densities, creating diverse services and outreach programs. Since the start of COVID-19 closures and restrictions, they have multiple updated and adapted services, resources, and ways to contact library staff. Virtual programming is a general header that includes in-person services offered before COVID-19 closures, adapted as virtual services, and a series of programs, resources, and updates from the library. This also includes DIY library programs led by patrons and community members. To help accommodate patrons who relied on in-house technology, the LACL currently provides laptop and internet hotspots loans free of charge. This benefits students, especially as online learning challenge many families. Reading challenges, arts and crafts, and other STEAM activities are available throughout the year, and especially help bolster active learning and self-education during school closure. One of the largest collaborators is with LACMA, leading a virtual arts program including hands-on activities and career workshops for young adults to learn more about arts-related professions. Lastly, the Laurel County Public Library System is located in London, Kentucky. This system offered regular teen programming, but has not held any virtual teen programs during COVID-19 closures and restrictions. Throughout this period, the library has some virtual programs with live music performances, children's story time, and cooking tutorials. However, there are no programs explicitly coded for teens. Recently, however, the USLPL has created a Teen Advisory Board that will meet at the start of May 2021. Thank you for listening to our presentation on teen services and participatory culture.